A few months ago, I made a video testing out a whole bunch of different products for capturing video and found the best option to be a 25-year-old device from Sony. But they don't make them anymore, so increased demand and limited supply led to its resale value skyrocketing tenfold. Oops. So since then, I've been working behind the scenes trying to find an alternative. Something which can match, or at least come close to its winning combination of high video quality, excellent stability in the face of less than perfect video sources, simple operation, ease of setup, and wide compatibility. By the way, I'm recording this on a DVD camcorder, so if you hear some occasional grumbling in the background, that's not just from the people who spent half a grand on a DVMC, it's also from the mechanism in this Handycam. I came across an eBay listing which caught my eye. It's a USB TV tuner and digital video recorder, which they're selling for $15 with free shipping. I could tell right away it's not a new product. The fact that it comes with the driver CD and mentions Windows Vista and XP makes that obvious. But here's the strange thing. As of when I'm recording this, they've sold 56 of these so far and still have another 158 available, which means they've had over 200 of these sitting in a warehouse for almost the past 20 years. And doing a little digging, I was able to find that Newegg sold the same thing back in 2006 as the Sabrent TV-USB 20 USB 2.0 TV tuner / video capture box with remote control, and it received a user rating of 2.5 out of 5 eggs. It got glowing reviews like junk, steer clear of this one, not worth it, buy something else, stay away. So of course, I bought one. The box says Super Glaring Series Digital Video. Perfect quality and super innervation. Enjoy your digital life. The box lists NTSC, PAL, CCAM, remote controller, MPEG-4. But then it has all these different products, none of which are checked off. So hopefully I got the right one. A more detailed feature listing on the back.
Multiple input/output interface supports S-Video, audio and video input function. You can integrate V8, I guess they mean Video 8, DV, VCD, and DVD into the computer for enhanced function. The captured digital video can be transformed into AVI, MPEG, and can be burned to VCD/DVD to share it with your family and friends. Optimized circuit design, perfect quality SMD components, advanced chip solution, and power management. No glitter design, protect your health, increased sharpness and chroma, multiple DMA channels, increased picture quality, and super color filter.
And inside the box is the device with a permanently attached USB cable, a driver CD containing WinDVR3, and a remote control. On the top of the device it says USB 2.0 TV box, TV capture, TV. Yeah, we get it. And there is the aforementioned antenna input. I guess it also would work with analog cable TV right there. But this, I don't see any sign this has a digital TV tuner. So that makes it nearly completely useless in this day and age. Except for the fact that on the side here it has an S-video input, a composite video input, and audio input and output jacks. So it can do video capture, which is the whole purpose of me buying this. And there is the CD. Doesn't it look faded? With all those rainbow reflections, I think that's actually a CDR rather than a commercially pressed CD, so hopefully it's still readable. My test computer will be this period correct HP Pavilion DV5000 running Windows XP Media Center Edition. The CD was readable, so I made a backup of it. The newest files on it were dated February 24th, 2008. I plugged it in and was able to install the drivers for USB TV Tuner analog video. Off camera, I installed the WinDVR software, which went fine. It requires a serial number, but one is provided in a text file on the CD. And those color bars you're seeing are coming from another camcorder I have connected to the TV box's composite video input, and if I unmute the audio, you can hear the audio coming through the TV box as well. So we're off to a good start. When you first connect it, it defaults to the TV tuner, but here in the settings under source, you can change it to composite or S-video, and you get all different standards, including NTSC, PAL, and CCAM. And the source, you should set the CD audio for a line level audio source. And under record, I recommend setting it to best quality. That's comparable to a DVD recorder set to its highest recording quality. So let me get some actual footage being run through this thing and we'll see what it looks like. So here's the setup. I have S-video from the Handycam going into the TV box. I discovered you should not have both composite and S-video connected at the same time, as they'll interfere with each other. And the audio is left and right RCA going into the 3.5mm jack with this little adapter. The audio output jack is only used for the TV tuner, so it does not give you a live preview of the audio of what you're feeding into it. And if you want to use the remote control, you need to install a separate application that's on the CD, but I didn't bother because I don't really have a need for this. There's the live preview from the camera, and the frame rate looks good. Now let's actually start recording. And that definitely looks rather choppy, but sometimes that's just the preview and the actual recording is still fine. So let's look at what the recorded footage looks like. That actually was fine, but it seems like the TV box is using the computer CPU to do the video encoding, and the single-core AMD Turion in this old laptop was clearly struggling to keep up. I decided to go for broke and see if I can get the TV box working in Windows 10 64-bit. Obviously, the included CD does not have a compatible driver on it, but the installation guide identifies the chipset it uses as the Trident TV Master 6000. I couldn't find a datasheet for that Trident chip, but the company's 2008 annual report includes a description of it.
They said the TV Master TM6000 is a highly integrated system-on-a-chip device designed to transform ordinary notebook and desktop PCs into high-quality PC TVs and media center PCs. The TV Master TM6000 integrates dual 10-bit high-quality video ADCs with a 2D digital comb filter, multi-standard color decoder, dual 16-bit audio ADCs, USB 2.0 controller,
and so on and so forth. And there was also a TM5600, which was the same thing except without the capability of digital TV, which this device doesn't seem to have anyway. No mention of a time-based corrector, but for something this cheap, I didn't expect it to have one. And based on that, I was able to find a driver that works. I'll include a link to it in the description. I'll be using VirtualDub to do the video capture. Not the easiest to learn, but it's what works the most reliably with the TV box, and is what all the experts say you should be using anyway. This is actually VirtualDub 2, the updated 64-bit version. So you go to Capture, and then Capture AVI, and there's the feed from the TV box. Just make sure the TM6000 analog TV is selected as the device. Under Video, you gotta set it to Preview. The default is Overlay, but I discovered if you use that, it gives you a corrupted file. So select Preview, and then you want to make sure it's set to the right source, Composite or S-Video. You can also select the TV tuner if you have some need for that. Video tuner, and we get Snow. So as far as I can tell, that would work if you have some need to use it for like capturing an old video game console that doesn't have composite output. Under Capture Filter, there's where you can select NTSC, PAL, or CCAM. And it has an option called VCR Input. Not sure what difference that makes, but since I will be capturing video from a VCR, I enabled it. And under Levels, there's where you can adjust your brightness and contrast. If you really want to fine-tune the brightness and contrast, you can feed in color bars, such as from this mini DV tape I made. Then you go into Virtual Dub, enable the histogram, and adjust the brightness so that the bottom peak does not go off the bottom of the chart. So 1000 looks right for the brightness. And you adjust the contrast so that the top peak doesn't go off the top of the chart. And down near the bottom of the video menu is compression. By default, it uses completely uncompressed video, which is very high quality but also creates enormous files. So if you want to save space, you'll want to use something that is compressed. I use a lossless compression format called Lagarith. Different people have different opinions about which format you should use, but that's one that works fine for me. And now we're almost ready to start capturing video. You just gotta set the capture file and give it a name. I'll call it test. Then you go over here under capture and click on capture video. And now we're capturing video, and it's not dropping or inserting any frames, so it should be fine. Although I discovered for some reason if you enable the audio playback, then it starts dropping frames when you're capturing video. See that? The frames dropped is going up. So I have no idea why getting an audio preview places such a large load that it's dropping frames when you do that. So here's a test of using the TV box to capture video in Windows 10 64-bit. This is using the composite video input from my Handycam as a video source. So let's see how this turns out. So far so good, but of course our ultimate goal is to capture video from analog sources such as VHS tape. So I'll quickly run through the same material I used to test the DVMC and see how the cheap little TV box fares in comparison.
I've got a problem and I really need your help. Where do I start?
I think you're going to be the recipient of more free advice than you'll ever know what to do with, and I think the important thing is to keep in mind that generalizations are usually just that. They're generalizations that may work sometime but may not be specific for you.
The following video cassette is a presentation of Youth Enterprises.
Congratulations on taking your first step to becoming a human calculator. Today in our program, I'll show you guys how to really make math fun, all right?
Obviously, the lack of a time-based corrector is the TV box's Achilles heel in terms of its inability to get a stable image when capturing analog videotape sources. It's about as bad as the Elgato and the cheap EasyCap devices in that regard. And yes, I did try unchecking the VCR input option, but that made no improvement. It is possible to actually get a passable result when playing a high-quality, properly mastered tape, but those are a rarity among the kitschy dross I like to collect.
He was obviously into girls at a very early age.
The new boy found he liked the Eton regime, even wearing the traditional uniform of long tailcoat and striped trousers. He made friends with boys from a wide variety of backgrounds and progressed rapidly in his studies. Inevitably, the press thought up stories about his school days.
We all find it quite amusing reading the tabloids at breakfast, as it gives you a chance to see what is supposed to have gone on, all of which we tend to know nothing about. Often I imagine it's made up the night before when there is a shortage of actual news.
And its already bad stability doesn't seem to be any worse when capturing video that is Macrovision encoded.
This is my 9th sick day this semester. It's getting pretty tough coming up with new illnesses. If I go for 10, I'm probably going to have to barf up a lung. So I better make this one count.
But if you're capturing from a Hi8 or Super VHS-C camcorder, all is not lost because most of them have a built-in time-based corrector. This JVC says TBC right on it and has a button to turn it on or off. And this Sony has an option to turn it on or off in the menu. So when capturing from these kinds of camcorders which have a time-based corrector, it is possible to get a good quality result using the TV box.
Josie, what'd you do to the window? What'd you do? Josie, huh? Sit. Give me that bone. Josie, who did that? Speak. Speak! Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You broke the window. Bad girl. Get a nice view of that. Oh, wow.
The TV box is also suitable for capturing from digital camcorders like Mini DV and Digital 8. The quality won't be as good as a direct digital transfer via FireWire, but especially if your PC lacks a FireWire port or any way to add one, I think the results you'll get with it are acceptable.
Take One pads are like mini brochures and are available for the FineCam L3V and L4V, which is combined into one pad, the S5R.
Wrong. S5.
No, you said it right.
That's wrong then.
Oh.
It's wrong, you know why?
You typed it wrong? Stop moving around, stop moving around. Everybody, places, places. Quiet on the set.
And since I know I'll get people yelling at me if I don't try, yes, it also works in OBS, although the quality of the results you'll get won't be any better than in VirtualDub. But Mac users are out of luck. I tried the two programs which had any hope of supporting the TV box, EasyCap Viewer and VideoGlide, and neither of them worked. Also, keep in mind that we are dealing here with standard definition video, which is interlaced and uses a non-square pixel aspect ratio, two things that some modern video editing programs no longer know how to properly deal with. So that's a hurdle you may need to learn how to overcome to get good results. The label on the bottom of the TV box says don't open it by yourself, but you're here with me watching this, so that means we're okay. Most of the cabinet is taken up by the TV tuner, which is in a shielded metal enclosure, and it has a red LED which comes on when it's turned on. And on the bottom is the one chip which is running the whole show. In this case, it's actually the Trident TV Master TM5600, not the TM6000 it said in the user's guide, but they're identical except the TM5600 does not have digital TV capability while the TM6000 does. And there's the complete part number on the circuit board.
USB-TM5600-TCL2002MB-LDR_V1.1.
The date is unfortunately garbled. I don't know if that's supposed to say 2005 or maybe 2008, but it's July 10th of 2000 something. So that's it for the super glaring series digital video TV box. No, it's not going to drive down resale value of the DVMC and have everyone flocking to this instead. But if you're undaunted by all the caveats and limitations I've explained and want to give it a try, it's only $15 with free shipping. And with the cost of shipping these days, that means they're basically giving it away. And like I said, as of making this video, they have over 150 of these left. So I don't think they're going to be in short supply anytime soon.
I don't think you. Are you videotaping me?
Yeah, I'm videotaping both of you.
Why is the red light on? What the fuck?
Shit, maybe it's not videotaping. What the fuck?
Did you hit the red button? Unless it says, like, not recording in the middle.
EP. What does rec EP mean?
That means it's recording.
Is it funny? What's up, bitch?
What a bunch of dumbasses. Let's go. Come on.
All right,
take it
go to Jim's room.